maintaining the effective tax rate for the county overall.
That's correct.
So if you add up the, and I don't have them all in my head yet, but the debt service, the general fund, the roads, if you add all that together, this budget would maintain the effective tax rate, which would indicate an overall no taxing.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry, we would. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. We would adopt. You can get my technology right. We would adopt the effective tax rate, which would
reduce the current tax rate by 2 cents,
and would represent no tax increase to Nueces County residents. Right?
There would, other than new growth.
Well, new growth doesn't count.
It's the same tax levy essentially as last year. That's correct.
Basically, we're using this. Yes, using the same amount of revenue that we took in last year. We're using that same amount of revenue for this year. Adopting the effective tax rate and maintaining the stream of revenue from last year.
Right.
Which would mean, in the truth and taxation world that we live in, we would not be raising taxes for Nueces County.
That is correct. This would, on the average, of course, on the average, this is the same levy as last year. But I do want to say we're taking on about $1 million additional funds from new growth.
Yeah, new growth was around $535 million of new growth, roughly.
But new growth, under the truth and taxation laws, does not count as increased taxes. It's new growth that we never had before.
Correct.
Okay,
that's correct.
All right, just making sure. Okay, thank you.
and lowering the tax rate about 2 cents. Rate. Tom, wherever you are. Tom Whitehurst.
Done? Steve, notice we had a substantial increase in the district attorney's office. Is the indigent defense, how did that fare in comparison to the district attorney's increase? The indigent defense fund that.
And you're saying as far as did it
stay the same, did it increase, or?
The budgeted indigent defense funds are the same as what we had previous year, yeah.
Revenue. Revenue.
Well, even the indigent defense expenditures.
The courts, yes, it's still the same.
So the defense expenditures, are they going up? I mean, of course, a lot of it is dependent on what the judges have on their plates.
Yeah, that's an unknown. You know, for years, indigent defense costs always became higher than what we budgeted. But I would say for the last 5 or 6 years, at some point we found that, we used to, quite frankly, budget them low in hopes that they would stay within it. But for the last 5 or 6 years, overall indigent defense costs are staying within what we've budgeted. Now, commissioners, that doesn't, as you say, we do a 5% increase for the attorneys. The judges, I'm not sure where they are, in what the attorney costs, if there's changes in that or numbers, et cetera. This is an area that, as you know, we don't really have a lot of control. If there is an increase there, we end up paying, we have to pay it anyway. But
well, the district judges and the county court law judges set rates that they submit to the TIDC for approval on how much the attorney's expenses are going to be charged. I believe the district courts are $750, if I'm not mistaken, and that rates are approved by a plan that the district judges submit to the Individual Defense Commission. And if they wanted to change that, they have to submit it to them for changes. And right now, I don't expect any changes at the moment.
Okay. The only other, and this is not a question but a concern that I have, is that the weight of the taxation. I'd like to see a table over the past maybe 6 years of who's bearing the increase of taxation, residential versus industrial, and what the spread is.
Yeah, I think, Judge.
And at some point, I know Valero is near and dear to a lot of us, but I think it's a trend and it's a strategy that some of these people are using to negotiate a reduction in what they pay in taxes. And I don't think that's fair to the residents in this county.
So I think that the chart I showed you this year is so clear that this given year, and I mean, it's at 11% for the residential and 3-4% for the commercials. There's this year there's a big gap in there. But yes, I'll give you that summary from what I have from the last year's.
So Steve, our proposed effective tax rate, will it go back to page 9? Tab 4?
Tab 4, page 9.
Is it going to be this .316895? Or do we have to add something to it?
No, that will be at the page, let's go back to page 7, Commissioner. Page 7 is the effective tax rate.
Page 7 what?
Tab 4, page 7. And so
It'll be the combined effective tax rate, right?
yes. Yeah,
That's
that's the
what,
same.
Same thing on page
that's what it is on the other page.
Yeah, but now we will, and that will be combined. Now, in our budget book, you'll see the effective tax rate for debt and general fund will be the 312928, and the effective tax rate combined adds in the road and bridge fund. With that will be the overall effective tax rate. That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay, there's a couple of things I want to just talk about for a minute. One is, and I've got 3 things here just off the top of my head. Our courthouse security, which I still have a great deal of concern about. Document destruction and scanning of our records that we now store. And you touched on it a little bit, Steve, and I asked Dale here a while back, and he and his staff put together a very nice report for me that showed where all of the funds that we are now allowed to collect in the different departments, the county clerk, the district clerk, whatever department it is, that the legislature allows us to basically fund scanning of documents and how those funds are used. There are some percentages that we don't collect the maximum amount of, but the lion's share of the money that goes into that, or the big funds, is in the county clerk's department. And I've always said that we are never going to be able to buy a building or lease a building big enough to continue to store the amount of documents that we create in this building every year if we don't start some sort of aggressive scanning policy here in this county to create digital images and not store all these paper records. Because if you go over to our record center right now, and I was over there just a while back, they are crammed full. In fact, they're fixing to make everybody that stores a vehicle in that building, they're going to have to move them out because they don't have any place to store any more boxes. They're months and months and months, and Kevin will attest to this, behind on shredding of documents, because we used to get that done almost for free, and we don't get it done for free anymore. So I have asked Elsa to put together what it would take for us to go out and do an RFQ or an RFP. I never can figure out which one's the right terminology.
Me neither. Me neither. Don't worry about it.
I never have understood that, but to look at the cost of hiring somebody or some company to come in here and do document destruction for us in this county, and that would be for all departments. So that, because right now we have tons and tons and tons, we have departments here that are storing boxes of things that need to be destroyed, and we just can't get it done because we don't have the personnel to do it. So what Mike has been having the staff over at the records management building do is every so often they'll just shut down for a day or two and do nothing but go in and shred documents. And we're still falling behind. So those are some areas that we really need to look at on a go-forward basis, and I'm not saying we have to address it this budget year, but we're going to have to address it, Your Honor, at some
Yeah.
point.
Mike, I think there's several, and I'll let the others comment. I think there's some great points there. There's another point is we need to look seriously at a building. And if this budget that we proposed to the court today is approved close to this, then I don't think there's any question that we'll be going out for another CO group, another round of COs next year, because this is really a very, very favorable budget for this county, using an effective tax rate, all the other things that are in here. That's when I think we go back and pick up all these other areas that you're talking about. We need a building, we need to look at shredding documents, we need deferred maintenance costs covered, we need several things. So those are great suggestions if we do another round of COs this coming fiscal year.
Okay, when you say this coming fiscal year, you mean during the 2015, 2016
Yeah,
budget year? Or
Yeah.
2016?
It would be like last year, and after Christmas and that time frame,
Right.
and it would go into effect as far
I
as paying
don't
for
think
it.
we can wait on document destruction another year.
Well, no, but
We'll have to rent a building to store documents.
But it would be, we'll begin, I'm proposing that we begin that discussion seriously in the fourth quarter of the calendar year, so in the first quarter of the fiscal year, we can begin to look at rates and everything else for a January, February issue, and then.
And Mike, you're dead on. There's even a bigger picture issue. A lot of these departments aren't shredding as much as they could be shredding. So, if we're already behind, if we actually got some of these departments to get on board with shredding stuff that they're keeping for way longer than they have to, it would cost us more there, but it would save us on storage space as well, because a lot of these things can be destroyed. People just have a tendency to hang on to them a little longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no doubt we do have that issue.
But in their favor too, Commissioner, and you know this, Commissioners, that JP's has stocks and stocks of boxes. And for them to shred, one of the staff has to go there and shred it.
Yeah.
That takes away from their staff.
Absolutely.
So, you're right, it's an issue, it's a big issue. But I'm just thinking maybe this is where the inmates come in, right? We want to keep them occupied, so
No.
they
Where
can
what?
shred.
Where
They
the
can-
inmates come in.
They can shred. They can shred.
Instead of reading tape.
No, I just.
No, but I'm saying
Not going
they can-
there,
they
just
can
saying.
shred.
No, that's,
We're not
You can
going
get
there.
20 inmates, they can shred.
no, that's, let them shred.
Our tax assessment collector out there just had a blood pressure increase.
Then I'm saying, I didn't say they're going to read, somebody's going to watch them. Somebody's going to monitor them.
That's a good idea.
Let me make one other comment on the budget. This year, in the current budget year, we had allocated $25,000 to support the windstorm effort. Well, yeah, all of you know that Todd Hunter and Abel and everybody were able to do some great things on windstorm. So what I've asked in the budget to do is take that $25,000 and divide it, become a line item budget for Robstown Development Corporation, $10,000, the EDC, $10,000, and increase our contribution to I-69 by the $5,000. So it would have no budget effect, but we just be reallocating that and put a line item in there for Robstown at EDC. Okay, well, yeah. But that's proposed.
10, 10, and 5?
10 and 5. Take the 25 and just reallocate that to 10, 10, and 5.
What was the last 5 you said? I'm sorry.
The
Apologize.
I-69 coalition that we're in, and we're doing a lot of work in that area right now. So anyway, that's in there, so you can take a look at that. But everybody's 70 stays the same, and
Yes.
all the other allocations, and the 50.
70 plus, how much more?
It's actually, you get, 50,000 for capital. If we go to,
It's 120,000.
Well, then there's, where's the outside agency money in that?
It's in the 70.
It's in the 70, and then the diabetes money is just separate that we get somewhere else.
Diabetes is separate. RTA money is separate.
Right.
if you look at page 5 on tab 5, And you can see in the allocations there's a line of 70,000, there's 5 in a row for the special revenues account, and then you go down towards further down towards the bottom, there's 50,000 for each member of the court for the capital projects being transferred over there. And then of course you get about $20,000 a year from the RTA
Each.
each. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? We're not voting anything today. Tomorrow is another budget workshop if we need to continue this discussion tomorrow. If we don't, in your opinion, we don't need another full discussion, and there's no reason for us to meet tomorrow in a workshop unless you want to sleep on this stuff and bring it back tomorrow. We certainly can do that. We need to take a little short break, and then I want to go back into workshop and talk about the ADA stuff, so on polling places.
We have
Okay.
that posted for tomorrow.
Is it posted tomorrow? I apologize.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah,
was
so
today. It's
what time
tomorrow.
is that
I'm looking
posted
at this incorrectly, guys. I apologize to you.
Is it posted for tomorrow to 11, or is it posted?
No, it's
for-
posted to immediately follow a budget workshop, so if we
We don't have a
convene
long,
tomorrow, we can.
then go right to the ADA.
So we'll start with the ADA at 8:30?
Unless you all want to continue the discussion on the budget workshop at 8:30, we can open it for that if anybody has any concerns or questions, and then go immediately
That's
to
right.
the ADA.
Being this is the first time we've seen this,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
like
let's
to
do that.
have an opportunity.
Well, you'll have the opportunity because we'll start that
I
meeting.
may not
so-
have any questions,
No.
but I'd like
But
to-
let's do that. I think this is, I know your favorite expression is we're giving you a drink through a fire hose.
Yes.
But again, I want to thank everybody who's been working so hard with all of us over the last few months. I think this is a great start, and I hope that it's going to lead to a really good budget. Thank you. Okay, all right, we're adjourned then. Thank you very much.